What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Platinum Podcast, where we talk about all things gaming, all things PlayStation, and all things trophies. I am joined today, as always, by Joel, aka GuyFarruski. How you doing, Joel?
Living the dream.
Living the dream, yes. I love it.
I thought I'd steal one of yours.
How dare you? So we are also joined by Michael from PS3 Gaming Scotland. How you doing, Michael?
Not bad.
Brilliant, brilliant. So this is episode 6. Unfortunately, episode 6, the original episode 6 died, so it's the lost episode. So this is actually Michael's second appearance on the sort of podcast. So we're going to have to start again anyway. So Michael, we're going to ask you to introduce yourself, introduce your channel, and what you're about.
So thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm Michael. I run PS3 Gaming Scotland, and it's a variety gaming channel where I look at the gaming industry at large, gaming news, reviews, trophy achievement guides, and video game collections, and so much more.
Awesome. So this is a Platinum Trophy channel. It's a Platinum podcast. So on that, Michael, what is your most proud Platinum trophy?
That's a good question. That's quite a tough one.
Always good questions on this podcast.
Yes, so I've got quite a few to choose from, but I would say my most proud Platinum trophy is the original Crash Bandicoot from the Insane trilogy. That took me a long time to master all the gold relics and all the levels, and yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I would be proud of that too. Joel, do you have that one?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised at that. I don't either. And I that was the first game that defeated me, and I wanted to play it again last week, and I went to turn it on, and I was just like, yeah, I can't play it. I just turned it off after like half an hour.
It's hard.
It's tough.
It's so hard.
So well done to you, Michael. Which leads me on to the next question, which is, what would you say is your favourite game or favourite game series of all time?
Again, another good question. I've got quite a lot of ones from my childhood that I've grew up with, and I've also got a lot more recent PlayStation exclusives. But if I had to really hone in and pick one, it would probably be the original Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, or that sort of franchise. I just loved playing the different levels and earning all the gems and platinum relics as well.
This guy likes Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah,
double whammy. I actually, when I wrote this question, I couldn't even think about it. Like, I couldn't think of what my favourite one actually was.
No.
Could you say off the top of your head, Joel, what you say yours would be?
No. It's a very broad question. It'd probably, to make it easier, or for me to pick just one game, it would have to be more of a question of like, what game in what genre is your favourite?
Oh.
I think that would probably be.
There's always one guy
to answer.
There's always someone who's got to make everything more complicated. I've thought of mine while you've been saying it there, and it's Elder Scrolls. Oblivion and Skyrim. Well, Skyrim, but then also, to be fair, as a gaming series, I did love Oblivion, and I think I like the new Elder Scrolls. So on that, my favourite series is Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim's bad.
It's not, man. It's brilliant. It's not as good now.
I can't wait for the backlash in the comments.
It's not as good now. But in 2011, it was the bee's knees. All right?
I couldn't get into it, man. I got to like the first village. I killed the chicken, and whole hell broke loose, and I just gave up.
Oh well. No, it was great for its time. It was I think it was like the peak of trophies of RPGs, other than The Witcher, obviously. So, I've just got a great topic for later on now on The Witcher, which we'll talk about later on. I need to write it down, otherwise I will forget. But while I'm writing this down, let's talk about what games we have been playing. So, Michael, have you been playing any games this week? And if so, what?
So, 2 games. Firstly, Fall Guys. I'm still playing Fall Guys.
Still?
Yep. Finally level 40 on Fall Guys. I've got 4 trophies to get the platinum, which will probably take a long time to get. And also, I recently got Tony Hawk's last night, so I am currently enjoying and playing that game. So they're my 2 for this week.
4 trophies off getting the platinum for Fall Guys?
Yep.
Is one of them the infallible trophy, though?
That is, yes. Yeah. So it's that one. I've got to win 20 tournaments, or episodes they call it, 20 races, and win an episode with at least 3 people. And then if I do all that, which is quite a tough ask, I would get the platinum.
Yeah, I'm not really on the whole Fall Guys Platinum Trophy venture.
No.
I think that I'll leave that to the real maniacs and psychopaths.
Yeah. If I do play it, I'll probably play it on like Emma's account or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't have like the 1% just hovering.
Just like, yeah. You don't want that. What about yourself, Joel?
I've been playing Erica.
Oh, you planned that, haven't you?
I've platinumed Erica, and I'm
Bravo.
currently working on a platinum guide for it, but that's probably going to be a while. But yeah, Erica, it's not a bad game. It's not. It can be pretty tedious if you want to go for the platinum because you have to do like multiple playthroughs, and there's only so much different paths you can take. So the beginning, especially, you're going to see the beginning over and over again. I kind of have the beginning imprinted in my brain for the rest of my life now. But apart from that, it's not bad. Not bad.
Is it a lot like Detroit Becomes Human? I know it's not because it's live, but in terms of like how much you have to replay.
Yes and no. It's a bit more annoying because you got no chapter select.
Oh
if you
my
mess up on
god!
anything,
Oh really?
you have to start from the beginning. The
There's
thing is,
no
though,
way
each
I'm
playthrough,
playing that now.
no, each playthrough is only like an hour and a half.
All right, okay.
So it's not like Detroit that like each playthrough is like 20 hours or something.
Okay.
So it's not too bad.
Did you play, what was that game called? The TV show, Black Mirror did it, and it was like pick your own game.
Yeah.
What was it called? It's based on
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch. Is it like Bandersnatch?
It's similar to that. The most annoying thing I'm going to say is the actual controls, because you don't actually play with the controls. You play with just the touchpad.
Oh.
Oh really?
And it's terrible.
That's
on the
nice.
plus side, I didn't do it, but on the plus side, you can connect your smartphone to the game and use your smartphone as a remote, which a lot of people say is a lot better. I'm just an idiot. I didn't research it, and I used the touchpad.
We all already knew that, didn't we, though?
Yeah.
So is the story quite good then? And what's it roughly
got
about?
its
Because I've not
moments.
played it.
It's interesting. The acting can sometimes be a bit laughable, which
Oh
it's a
no!
live action.
Don't
game.
grab that! Don't go for that gun!
Exactly.
Oh no, you've grabbed
like
it!
that.
You've shot him 4 times!
Yeah. There are some moments like that. All in all, though, as a whole, it's not too bad. You just got like the odd weird moment. But I mean, story-wise, it's got a pretty interesting story, and obviously because you got like the different endings. Like some of the endings are really dark, others are expected. I'd recommend you play it. It's an easy platinum.
Is that like one like really dark, like sadistic ending where you think,
Yeah.
well, damn.
Ooh.
Yeah. There is.
Oh damn.
There
Oh,
is.
that's what I'd be saying. I wouldn't be going to a damn, I'd be high-pitched damning it. But, right, okay.
Like that.
Exactly. That's exactly, maybe even louder than that.
I'm not going to
It'd be so
I like my vocal
like
cords.
octave even higher. Octave is a musical term, I've been told, that I don't really know.
Mariah Carey high pitched.
Yeah, nicely. Okay, so games I've been playing, well, Avengers, so as of Friday,
Yeah.
and I bought, because I had no games to play, and I was like, I need to play something. I've got loads of games actually, a massive backlog. I was like, I want to play a game that's like, that I've wanted to play for a long time. Can you hear that? I apologise, there's a ice cream man going past right now. You could definitely,
I've not heard that sound in years.
So I've
you could
seen.
definitely hear him. He actually,
Wow.
this is like the 4th time he's interrupted me making a video, but unfortunately this is a podcast live, so I can't like just edit it out, so it's going to be in it's
No,
going to be in.
leave it in.
Yeah, I'm
Leave
going
it
to. He's a bane in my life, that guy. Gary, he's here like 4 times a day trying to make his money from his losses of COVID. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I bought Yu-Gi-Oh! And I bought it, and it's pretty awesome. Like I just love Yu-Gi-Oh! So much, so I've been like really smashing that game as well. And Yu-Gi-Oh's, it's good. I'm going to do a review on it. Have either of you played Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
I played like the old school Yu-Gi-Oh, but not anything recent.
It's a great card game. But it's changed a lot. It's like evolved, and
Yeah.
for the probably not. It sort of peaked maybe like 2010. Sort of went in a bit of a decline now. But it's a great game, and I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to pick it up again, because there's so much going on in it now. There's so much different like rules and stuff. It's really, really fun. If you don't know how, if you're new to it, you come back in. It's like a really good introduction. If you actually played it a lot, like I played it quite a lot, like it's actually really, really easy. Like not to like, because you build decks, and if you're good at building decks, then you can just wipe the floor. Like I've literally wiped, like I spent like the first 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours just beating everybody like in the first 2 turns. But
So
never
you
mind.
play against like the CPU.
Yeah, and there's online as well, but the CPU is just not like they have like in the campaign they have terrible decks, like decks that just can't compete. So you like just someone's like summoning one monster, and you're just like summoning 12 in one turn, and just like obliterating them, and they're like,
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, let's move on. So we're going to talk about trophy topics. So we've got 2 topics today. So the first topic is going to be, what is the most annoying trophy task or something you've done to achieve a trophy? So this is something that you've thought, this is an absolute joke, like I'm taking the mick here, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm clearly not right in the head, slightly insane, slightly unstable mentally. So on that note, Joel, I'll let you start.
Okay. There's a few.
Oh dear, tap in.
There's a few. Let me pass the torch over to Michael. I need to think about this one. I need to
So
think.
again, so the most annoying task for me personally was, I'm going to pick Rocket League. I did have quite a few, but I'm going to pick Rocket League. And now the trophy, can't remember the exact name of it, but you had to drive 50 kilometers on the same set of tires. Now this was quite glitchy, as it didn't pop bang on 50 kilometers. So basically you had to set up, I set up a private match, and I got my controller and an elastic band, wrapped a figure of 8 around the analog sticks, and let the car go round and round in circles. But at that point I left it for a few hours because it took forever. I watched TV or whatever it was, and then came back later on that day and the trophy popped. So that was my most annoying task, shall we say. So
you're hitting an all-time low when you're like elastic band and 2 analog sticks together, like
the things we do for trophies, though.
the things you do. That reminds me, this isn't mine, this is like an extra one. In Final Fantasy 15, you basically had like level up all your like companion skills. Did either of you play this?
Yeah.
In one of them, was it Gladio, who you had like just walk distance, and then you had to go to the campsite and it would like level up depending on how much you'd walked. So I was exactly the same. I remember just getting like 2 bands, just lacitating them together and just watching Noctis just like do this for like 10 hours. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Have you thought of one?
Speaking of, I've got one. It's not mine, but it's not the one I'm going to choose, but it's an elastic band one. It's a specific trophy in GTA5, and it's called Kiflom, and you have to do like a load of tasks with this like cult. And one of the tasks is, with Michael, you have to go to the desert and walk like 10,000 steps or 10 kilometers or something.
All right.
So I did that with the elastic. I basically just put the elastic, he just runs around in a circle, and then you just wait for that. But that's not even the trophy. That's just a task to get this trophy.
Wow.
And then you have to do like you have to wear a robe for like 7 days. So you have to kind of put this robe on, and then what I did is I used to go to sleep, which like is like 8 hours or something in the game. So you have to continuously sleep until those days go past, and then you have to go and get this briefcase. I can't remember it fully. I just remember it being an absolute nightmare. But the elastic bands kind of reminded me of it. No, the one I'm going to choose for the most annoying task, it has to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Study all the animals.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, to study all the animals, you have to have your binoculars, if I'm not mistaken, and then you have to press R1 in order to study. But it will only register as a study when the ball, or when the circle around the R1, does a full cycle. So if you're trying to study like birds and they suddenly fly away when you're in the binoculars, and you don't complete that circle, you don't study the bird. And if you're like unlucky to that happen on one of the birds that are stupidly rare for them to spawn, this could be a task for hours, just for one animal. That's the most annoying one for me.
Yeah, that sounds horrendous. I've watched a few videos on Red Dead Redemption, and the Platinum Trophy, I know you always keep telling us to go for it. It's just,
you have to.
It's just too much. Too much.
It's not.
It's just once.
Come on.
You just said it's your most annoying trophy of all time, and then you try to tell me
I want other people to be annoyed that I know. I want other people that I know to be annoyed, so then I can talk about it and have the annoyance.
Basically, you want us to create like some sort of like support group around people who finished Red Dead Redemption 2 because you feel totally isolated.
Yes.
That makes on the no, go on, Michael.
Just think of the sense of achievement and accomplishment you'll get it when you get the platinum. You know what I mean?
I can shout from my top window, I earned the Platinum Trophy from Red Dead 2, and then someone will shout back like, nobody cares. And I'm like, that's true.
Someone would be like, what's Red Dead 2?
Tis true. Tis true.
Well, Sirius is talking. Someone would be like, no, someone like, who's Red Dead 2?
But seriously, get the platinum. I think everybody should comment down below. I think we should make a challenge here. If you get 10 comments of people in the comments saying for you to get the platinum trophy, I think you should get the platinum trophy.
Wow. That's such a low bar to entry.
It's not. I mean, it's 10 people. It's such a round number.
That's true. Oh, well,
Knowing you, you'd set the bar to like 1,000 or something.
I'd like-
So no, we're gonna stick to 10.
if 9,000 people like this video, I will play Red Dead for 2 minutes.
Wow.
But if 10 people comment down it, I'll definitely consider doing it at some
Oh
point
my
in my
god, I'm
life.
gonna share this video so much.
I want to skip back to Red Dead because not Red Dead, to GTA5 and say I didn't play that cult storyline, which is crazy to think that it's
GTA.
yeah GTA5. However,
should.
I mean, thankfully I can just play it next gen, so I probably will now. You know, because thankfully it's come out on PS5, which is just it was when I went to sleep most nights I used to lie in bed and go if I would sleep happy if I knew GTA5 was coming out next gen. It's almost like Rockstar had some sort of like ability to like read my mind and
everyone
just
wants.
grant the dreams, the wishes of many.
Yeah.
Thousands, millions of people just want to pay to buy more shark cards. So thank you, Rockstar, for giving me the opportunity to spend my hard-earned money on your shark cards.
Who the hell wants GTA 6?
Exactly.
Just bring 5. Just bring 5 to the new gen.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants 6.
No. New game?
Nobody wants GTA 6.
Why would anyone want a new game when they could just
Yeah.
have GTA5, a game that's been out for 9 years? 8 years? 7? Still, a long time.
It's been out for a while.
It has. Okay, so
It's been a while.
I want to talk about my trophy now. My most annoying
Yes.
trophy, which was... I'm going to be talking about Borderlands 2. I've talked about it quite a lot. There's a trophy for finding Jimmy Jenkins. So he's this little like blue robot who pops up and he's a completely random spawn. So he spawns in a certain type of crate, which, you know, you find
Okay.
thousands of these. I was explaining to Michael before the podcast starts. You pretty much find something like 50 to maybe 50, 60 of these loot boxes per hour. And I played the game for 110 hours and didn't get them to spawn once. So, you know, I opened like over 5,000 of these boxes and he didn't spawn. Only way to get them to spawn is to do like a certain quest where there's like 4 loot boxes next to each other and they all have like a special rare drop. But if you miss that, if you play it and miss it, you have to replay the whole game to get to that point. So I ended up having to play like basically the whole game again to get to this one point, just to get them to spawn. And bear in mind, I'd already spent like 20 hours just opening loot boxes, like doing like a certain map, quitting and doing it again. And it was grim. And I hate
Wow.
luck-based trophies. They should not be a thing ever. Down with them. Down luck-based trophies.
It's like, I think luck-based, online, and also missable trophies are the bane of, I think, every Platinum Hunter's existence.
I agree.
Because-
I agree as well.
Because you don't want to look at a guide because you'll get spoilers, obviously. But then if you don't look at the guide, you're going to miss out on a trophy. And if it's a game, for example, like Borderlands 2, which is 100 hours,
Yeah, at least.
yeah, you're going to have to play 100 hours more if you miss a trophy. That's frustrating as hell.
I agree. I am quite for difficulty-based trophies. So I think that I would rather not have missables and rather just have a difficulty-based trophy so that it's something like, you know, the trophy list isn't sort of like an easy piece of cake. Not anybody can earn it, but you don't have a guide, you just get better at the game. And then as you get better, you can show that you're actually good at the game.
Bloodborne. You should play Bloodborne.
I know. It's on my list. It's on my list
The
of
Last of
games.
Us Part 2 at launch didn't have difficulty, but they've now obviously added grounded mode and permadeath. So I suppose as long as we have choice, I kind of agree. Difficulty-based trophies are important. I would say gives the players that want to achieve more than just the platinum, in The Last of Us 2's case, an extra challenge. But you don't have to do it as it's optional DLC. So, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
I'm gonna disagree with the choice of difficulty for one reason alone, and this is just because most of the games that have difficulty levels, if you play the harder difficulties, they're always or almost always more unfair than they are hard.
That's true.
You know, if you play, like, comparing Dark Souls, I know I'll talk a lot about Dark Souls, but compare Dark Souls to Kingdom Hearts, for example, on Proud Mode. Kingdom Hearts on Proud Mode is super unfair. You get hit twice, you're dead, and the enemies take forever to die. And then in Dark Souls, it's like a progressive thing because you get better at the game, so you know what's coming. With Kingdom Hearts, it's you have too many one shots on Proud Mode.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a lot of attacks that just one shot you, and it's super easy to get mobbed because that game isn't made specifically to play on a harder difficulty. So let's say you have a mob in Dark Souls. Those mobs are calculated for that area or calculated for sort of your skill base. When you play Kingdom Hearts, you get mobbed whether you're on easy or on proud. But if you get a mob of like 4 enemies and you get hit once by each of them, it's instant death.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you're right there that it shouldn't be tacked on if you're going to be using trophies around difficulty. There need to be some elements, like actual changes in the gameplay. It's not just a case of saying, okay, these enemies are going to hit harder and you're going to have less health, or they're going to hit faster and you're going to have less health. Like that, yeah, you're right. That sort of just cheapens the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's more frustrating than not sometimes.
Because it's not always skill based. It's like a lot of it's like luck based, repetitiveness, and just that's fair. I agree with that. It depends on the game. Like for example, The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2. I haven't played The Last of Us 2 on Grounded yet, but those games are quite. I would say I'm not an experienced difficulty game based player, but I'd say that those games feel really varied and like they change massively on the difficulties. They're not just like, okay, you die faster. It's like they actually take things away from you and they make it harder in different ways, and they put a lot of thought into it. But like for example, Kingdom Hearts. I can't think of any other games where difficulty gets a bit out of control. But I agree with that. I think
I'd say Kingdom Hearts at the top of my head because it was probably the one that I struggled the most with. Like getting the platinum on all the Kingdom Hearts games. Like the proud mode was always so unfair until you reached either a point in the game where you had a lot of health or you had like a better arsenal or like more health items or more health spells. But always in the beginning, it's such a struggle to get through the first few areas. In my opinion, I may just be bad at the game.
No,
I'm not.
I agree. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts, but I can sort of see what you're saying. I'll just lean over there see if I can see it in my games as to any of them that are particularly difficult. But no, they're not.
I thought you were looking for the ice cream man.
No, I'll see Gary later. I'll meet Gary later for my Cornetto, a 99 with a flake. Right, let's move on then. Okay, so the next trophy topic, I apologize for moving my hair, it's getting too long, is Road Bustle. So, for those who don't know, Road Bustle is a new game that's just come out. It's basically the easiest platinum trophy of all time. So for those who don't know, it's basically like Frogger. So you control this little dude, and you just run across traffic, and you avoid it, and you have to get, say, 16,000, and you get a platinum trophy for it. There's technically difficulty involved, but there's a really easy exploit. There's 2 really easy exploits. One is you get points from running forward, so rather than cross the road, you can just run in between 2 roads and you level up that way. Or you can do it how I did it on my video, where I just ran behind this little red shed and you just run into the shed. The game gets stuck and you just keep running and racking your points up. So in theory, you could just get like the highest score of all time from just doing that. Like someone's probably started that game and just kept it on with a thumbstick, and it's probably on like 50 million.
I was going to say that.
I wonder what the highest score is. It could be a challenge.
Billions. Maybe we should do it just to like world record on Road Bustle.
It's like My Name is Mayor. Like you got people who have like, I think to get to the platinum you need 10,000 clicks. Is it?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. There's people who've got like millions of clicks. Like, what? Why?
Why do this? Why you do this?
Why? Do you just wake up every day and just go like, gotta be number one, gotta be number one, gotta be number one, gotta be number one?
Someone probably just thought, you know what, this is the best game. My Name is Mayo is just the best game ever. I just love it. It's so soothing to my soul. Just like a bit stressed, I know. I'll just tap X for 10 hours. Yes.
Destroy my controller.
That's the good life. But actually, this is
a skill.
Yeah, there's no. Well, is that skill? You know, your ability.
I bet they've got like some sort of weird way that they do it. That like instead of just clicking the once, they got like a weird like thing where it kind of like clicks 3 times instead of the once. Like some sort of exploit. It has to be.
Can't you just get turbo controllers these days? Where you just like press the turbo on, and just press it, and just press like 10,000 clicks a minute.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably what they've just done. To be fair.
Okay.
Made the whole thing sort of relevant.
I
didn't either until I just thought of it there. But this actually, the topic isn't necessarily just Road Bustle. The topic is sort of like easy platinum trophies. Like Road Bustle it's come out in 2020. There's been ridiculous amount of easy games this year. So in 2018, they started to come out thick and fast. So you're probably getting like 1 to 2 every month. And then in 2019, it started to ramp it up. And now 2020, you're probably getting one easy game come out every couple of days by Radlakia and is it East Asia Software? Like these two companies are just blasting them out thick and fast. And what do you, gents, which is basically the topic, is what do you guys think about these easy platinum trophies? Do you think they're actually worth going for or not?
Go on, Michael.
Oh, it's me first, right?
Well,
Personally,
Oh, whatever. I'm
so sort of piggybacking off your point, I do think there has been an explosion in these quick, easy platinums from like Rakalaka Games, the Paugi Games, Green Lava Studios. They've also done quite a few quick, easy platinums. But at the end of the day, I personally use the quick, easy platinums as like a palate cleanser in between my big AAA games and games of that sort of nature. So I do think, well, to be honest, I do think choice is the main thing, and I personally like variety of games, and it'd be interesting to see whether you think these quick, easy platinums almost like devalue the platinum trophy, or do you think by having quick, easy platinums, do you think that the platinum isn't as valuable? Or personally, I think a platinum's a platinum. I would love to see, and I'd be interested in how they actually go about deciding what games have a platinum and what don't, because Season 2 of The Walking Dead by Telltale doesn't have a platinum, but all the other games in that franchise does. So yeah, so that's just my sort of 2 cents on the quick, easy platinums.
I think me and Joel, I think we've spoke about this before. I don't think every platinum trophy is sort of equal anymore. I think this is sort of the reason why, because these games are so easy. Like, there's no way you can compare Road Bustle to The Witcher 3. Am I right? If someone's got The Witcher 3 platinum trophy, you're essentially a walking god. Whereas if you have the Road Bustle, you're basically just like a chump who just plays a game, paid £1 to get a platinum trophy in under 2 minutes. So, like, I'm the latter, unfortunately. But it's just like, I don't think you can compare them anymore. I think the number of trophies you get, the platinum trophies and stuff you got, like, it doesn't really mean anything. And I think this is like minor niche, like people who are just playing these easy games all the time. And it's like, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I don't think that the trophies are equal anymore.
I agree. And it's not just because I've got what people say, impressive platinums. It's just because I just platinum games that I like. So I usually try and platinum every game I play. But I have to also admit that numbers also matter.
Yeah.
Because if you see the top ranked platinum hunters, they've got these easy ones. They may also have hard ones, but I'd say the majority will be the easy ones, just to rack up their level and rack up their count. And obviously you've got the stacking, and so I agree with what you said, PlatinumBro, of I don't think they have the same value, because you don't need dedication to just play a game, that you play the game just to platinum. All you have to do is play the game to platinum the game. All you have to do is just these simple little tasks in order to get the platinum. It's not the same dedication as having the skill to actually finish and platinum like these AAA games.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
in the same breath, these developers, they do need these small games to fund their bigger games. And I think since maybe 2018, where they started getting more and more regular, is probably when people started hunting trophies more regularly.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest as well, like when the PS3 first started doing the trophies, it was a bit weird. Like it was kind of like seen as the Xbox thing, and then PlayStation were kind of copying it. So for a while, a lot of games didn't even have trophies in them. There was like a later update at some point, like Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't have one when it came out. It was then updated. GTA 4 the same, didn't have it when it came out, and then it was updated, I believe. I'm not entirely sure about GTA, but I know for sure Devil May Cry 4 didn't have one. Like AAA games that didn't have them because it didn't matter that much. And then I think when people started hunting them more, these companies thought, well, why don't we use these small little games to fund our big games? Which I'm all for. But I think, as well, in the same breath, enough is enough. Maybe tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
maybe stop having so many.
I think you've raised a few points that I probably won't be able to address properly. But I would say, firstly, Radlakia Games, for example, they aren't using their money from these games to fund better games. They're using the money that they make to fund equally terrible games. And a lot of these games are rip-offs of better games. So a lot of the platformers are rip-offs of games that came out in the 80s and 90s, or the puzzle games, or visual novels and stuff. And so I don't think necessarily there's a market for them now. They must be worth millions now. But I don't think actually some companies might make Trophy. I think Trophies definitely is an amazing thing. That's why that's what this channel is about, and that's what this podcast is about. But I think you're right. Sometimes it's a bit like, well, if you look at the top leaderboards. So I did a chat recently with Unknown, who's like number 5 trophy hunter in the world, and he was telling me that basically, when you get to the top, if you take a break to play other games, everyone else around you is playing these easy games. So you have to play these easy games just to stay at the same level. So if you imagine if Brad Lakia released 10 games a month, and you say I'm going to play Witcher 3 for 3 months, everybody else around you will have 30 more platinum trophies than you because they've all played the easy games as well as other games. So it's like you have to play the easy game to then just to be at the same level as to where you are. But this is elite level we're talking about. Well, can we call anybody elite? This is the highest level of hunting.
That sounds quite stressful at that top level. But as long as people are and having fun, enjoying it, and potentially budgeting as well, then who's to say
that is very true.
Can't, you know what I mean? So
if everyone's having fun, everyone's having fun.
The question is it worth it? Okay, obviously it's worth it for those people. I'm not taking anything away from them. Like it's a hell of an achievement, and fair play to them, and carry on doing it. But like from my point, this is my opinion alone. Like, the way I see it, you have 2 choices. You have play the games you love, have a lot less platinums, but have proud games you're proud to have the platinum, and maybe games that not many people have, which make it, I think, maybe stand out more, or have 1,000 trophies that everybody has in the world, or a lot of people have in the world, just to stay at the top.
Yeah.
Like, the way I choose it, I would choose to have platinum the games that you like playing, because I think once you start doing something and it becomes something you have to do, I think it takes away the fun.
I agree with that.
Like, I have to play all these easy games because I have to stay at the top. I mean, to me, that doesn't make sense.
No,
to me, that kind of takes the joy away from hunting trophies. Like, you wanna get the platinums, obviously, but not always from the easy games. You kind of want sometimes you want to challenge yourself. Sometimes you want to think, not many people have this platinum. I'm going to try and get this platinum. And then you challenge yourself more to get it. I think the way I see most games is, not all of them, but a lot of them, is if there's a very low percentage of people that have it, it makes me want to get it more.
Yeah. That's fair. No, I agree with you pretty much all the way there. I think I sort of fit in. I'm like a bit of a hybrid. I think I like the finished games that I'm going to be playing. Like, I want to play games that I want to play, but I'm also going to finish them because I'm a completionist. But I also do care about the numbers, and I do want to have so a substantial amount of like trophies in general.
Yeah.
So I can see like why both sides are, but I have like a limit. Like, I'm not going to play like 30 games a week, a month, or that I don't want to play like that. That take away from me playing Avengers and playing, like Spider-Man and Cyberpunk when it comes out and things like that. Like, games I want to play, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to play them so I can play all these easier games. Yeah. I've actually got a really good idea on how to get rid of these easy platinum trophies. And to be fair, if I got rid of them, it would make the platinum trophy more valuable again. Which is in Steam. Those who have Steam, you can get. Is it 2 hours you get with the game before you can request a refund? Yeah. So you can request which I think, by the way, is amazing, because I think Sony and Xbox, Microsoft, they have the control over you now. So if you buy a game digitally, too late. They've got it. They've got your money and you can't get it back. And I don't think that's fair. In Britain, in the UK, we have like something like called statutory rights of like being a consumer, and you're eligible for a refund, usually up to 2 weeks, if you buy something you aren't happy with it, or if it's not how it's described. For example, games often come out and they're not described as how they actually are. For example, like Division, Watch Dogs. These games were promised more than what they were, and quite frankly, in my eyes and in the eyes of the law, you're entitled to like a refund for that. So I think they should do that where if you buy a game, you get like an hour to refund it. In most games, an hour isn't enough to make a dent. If you bought Spider-Man, if you bought Days Gone, if you bought Last of Us, if you bought Uncharted, if you bought Star Wars Fallen Order, like an hour isn't an hour's enough to see if you like the game, but it's not enough to finish the game at all.
No.
However, it would eliminate all these easy platinum trophies because people would be buying them and just return them once they finish them. So that would actually eliminate them straight away from the market. So good or bad.
That's an interesting point that you brought up there.
I actually think that's the best way for gaming going forward. I think we should all be eligible for, if we don't like a game because of whatever reasons in the first hour, we should be allowed a refund. I think because it gives us more control of consumers, and that's why I'm all about that. I don't like it when companies have so much. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo already have a monopoly on basically gaming, and it gives us a little bit of power, but also it would help eliminate all these terrible games that come out that you can finish in 20 minutes because they wouldn't make any money, so they wouldn't be able to make them anymore.
Good God, all those top platinum hunters are going to be cursing us.
I know, they'll be hating me.
I'm telling you. They're going to be knocking on my door with, like, sticks and...
I'm going to get a strike on my YouTube just for saying it.
I agree with you, though. I agree. I think trophies need to be more valued. I think trophies now, like you say, I got 80 platinums, and people are like, yeah, who cares? Because they instantly, or like even you say you got 300 platinums. Like people instantly think, well, it's all going to be easy games. Who cares?
Well, half of them are, but that's the point.
But then the other half aren't.
Yeah. Well, I am.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm on Instagram. Did you know that? But my point is that I follow a lot of trophy hunters on Instagram. So chances are, if you collect platinum trophies and you follow me on Instagram, I will follow you back. And somebody put on a photo of how many platinum trophies they earned in a month, and it was 120 platinum trophies in a month, and I was like, wow, like that, it's impressive. You've obviously got a lot of free time, kid, but also, like, you've obviously spent a lot of money on cheap, nasty ass games.
Yeah.
Like, even if you have, 100 hours a week to spare, 400 hours isn't that much in terms of a month you've got to be playing. And if going off that mass, each game would have to take 3 hours to platinum trophy. So clearly they're not big games at all. And it's like, well, is it actually that impressive that you've played 120 games?
Yeah.
Not really.
It's impressive, but I don't think it's sustainable. You can't be earning 120 games a month. You'll burn yourself out.
I don't think it's that impressive. I think that's like comparing, let's say you have two cars. One of the cars travels from New York to LA, which is however many miles. I don't know, let's say 500 miles. Probably
it's definitely
more.
Way more than that.
Okay. 500 miles.
Let's just say 10,000.
10,000 miles. And then you have another car who's done 10,000 miles by just driving around in a circle. Which one's more impressive?
That is a very valid point, to be fair.
No, I think that's the kind of comparison we have to make here when somebody says I platinumed 100 and odd games in a month. Yes, okay. I admire your dedication of playing that many games, but is it really that impressive when it's just a game that you turn on, you play it for half an hour, all you have to do is play the game, you don't have to do any extra tasks, you don't have to have any skill, and you just finish the game and you get a platinum?
That is a very, very good.
I think it's that impressive.
I agree. That's such a good analogy. Well done, Joe. I like that metaphor.
I'm just very salty because I've not reached 100 platinums.
It's so salty.
I'm just, trying to...
Right, well, we've taken this on a bit of a pessimistic, I feel. A bit of a rant. But I love a rant. I love ranting about things. So, guys, we are a Platinum Trophy podcast, but we have our opinions on Platinum Trophies. And we welcome your opinions on these as well. I get a lot of... I don't have a big channel, obviously. I get surprisingly a fair amount of hate on when I post a video on an easy Platinum Trophy, which is weird because a lot of other people don't. But not loads, but I'll probably get a comment every maybe 2 or 3 comments a video on Road Bustle, for example, saying that why would you waste time playing these games? I kind of get that a little bit. I do it now for YouTube and because I like to collect trophies. So I'm not saying that hate, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's everyone's entitled to an opinion. So I don't mind if people think that because I completely get it. So, but I can imagine people who have big accounts must get a bit more grief than me. But anyway,
Maybe not, or maybe not. You don't know. Maybe not. Maybe because they have bigger accounts, maybe they get less hate. I don't know.
because they probably
It's a weird one.
Yeah, they probably swim in like circles of people who all do it together. But you know,
Yeah.
I kind of get looking in though. Like if you aren't in the trophy circles and you look in and go, "Why have you just spent 20 minutes of your life playing this game which you don't like?" I kind of get why they're questioning in it. Why they're thinking, "Why would you waste your time?" Like it kind of looking in. It just sort of it's ludicrous. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm a weird guy anyway, so you know.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, well. Right. Okay. Let's move on to something more joyful. Well, sort of joyful. Yeah, joyful. Joyful. We'll call it joyful. So we'll move on to the gaming news of the week. So we're going to talk about a couple things. But mainly, I'm probably going to take the lead on this one because I'm the one who's mainly played it. So Avengers came out on Friday, which is 4 days ago. This video's coming out on the Monday. Neither of you have played it, have you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I want to.
I'm like, well, hey, this is the thing. So I'm obviously a big Marvel fan, and I did my beta impressions of video, and I wasn't overly excited about it. I'm like an hour away from finishing the campaign. I'm literally in the last level, and the campaign is pretty good. It's only about 8 hours long, but it is a good experience, and I'm actually enjoying it. I think I've got more positives than negatives. I think the negatives are just, you know, frame rate, the cosmetics are a bit naff, and the microtransactions. But the positives, like I enjoy like the openness of the levels, the voice acting, the combat isn't as plain as I thought it was going to be. It's basic, but you've got 6 characters to play with. Each of them you could play with easily for 5-6 hours without getting bored. That's 30-35 hours. And then on top of that, the loot system, leveling up system, isn't that bad. It's okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So on a whole, I would say my experience is more positive than negative. There's definitely some negative issues. I've made a massive list of stuff, but there's some good to be had in the game, and I think people have been really, really harsh on it, and some of it rightly so. Like the microtransactions are unforgivable. Like I hate that aspect of it. But there's the team that have worked on it. So it's Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of passion into it. You can tell it's a bit of a passion project, and although they've been probably bullied by Square Enix into adding microtransactions, that there's a good part of the game, and I think I just keep playing thinking I'm playing an Avenger and I love it, and like it's that effect. And yeah, if it wasn't an Avenger game, it would not be as received as well. It wouldn't be, because it is. It's sort of like, well, it's still good to play with these characters.
Okay. The only question I really have is it worth the money? See, that's the thing.
It's £60 in Britain, which, bear in mind, just to clarify, Last of Us was £50, so it's one of those games where it's come out actually at a really high price. So, you know, we were talking about that next gen price increase about 6 weeks ago on the podcast. Well, actually, Square Enix have sort of already put it up. So they've already put next gen price on this game.
No, have they?
I think, yeah, £60, so, you know, $70, equivalent to maybe $75, whatever the rate is. And I think there's definitely 60 hours of gameplay to be had. But I normally value my games off £1 an hour. It's pretty good. The campaign's only 10 hours, and then I think, maybe you probably, if you're a really hardcore Avengers fan, or Marvel, superhero, yeah, there's 50, 60 hours. If you're not, probably 30. So it depends whether or not you think that's worth the money or not, what I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still on the fence with it. I think just the microtransactions is just it's just let me down so much. I had such high hopes for this game, and I thought it was going to be something different, especially with it being Square Enix. I mean, I used to love Square Enix, mainly for Final Fantasy, and then they did what they did with Final Fantasy 15, which was a shame. And now they're doing it again with this next game, and it's just kind of just with the Avengers game, and it's I don't know, man. It's just.
I think Square Enix now are the dark horse of they're the fourth. Is it the four Apocalypse horses?
Four horsemen of the Apocalypse.
I think they're the fourth of the four horsemen. Firstly being EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, and I think Square Enix have earned themselves a place on the four horsemen of microtransactions, because
such a shame.
I think they've been like low key with how they've done it, and I think they've just really like sort of soured my opinion of them massively with this game. And I think when you look back at some of the games they've done, you can actually sort of see it now. And it's like, how did people not see this? People have been so obsessed with raging at EA and raging at Ubisoft and Bethesda that they've sort of like ignored Square Enix and sort of like just snuck in.
Square is like just
Yeah.
have this DLC for Final Fantasy 15. Oh, here's another one.
They just
Here's
slid
one more.
into the DMs of microtransactions and just hit us out of nowhere. Randy Orton style with an RKO from hell with Avengers. Slithering around and out of nowhere, just bam, RKO with the microtransactions because they are fierce in this game. Like, you're looking at, like, how much to take this war? Now I'm going to tell you. For suspense.
Just quickly.
Go on.
So just quickly, my only question would be, how have they balanced like the different superheroes with their moves? That was my worry about. Obviously, microtransaction is not great, but my worry would be, how are they balancing the superheroes? Are some easier or more difficult to use, and especially with like their special moves?
I would say this game is clearly audienced for children, and mainly. And because of that, all the characters are really easy to use. And they're all balanced pretty well, which is a bit unfair because Hulk and Thor, for example, are so much stronger than the other four. It's sort of like it can be immersion breaking because it's all based on your power levels. So as you level up your gear, you do more damage. So Captain America, and my Captain America's level 20 now, and my Hulk's level 8. So Hulk would die in 2 hits in the level 20 area, where Captain America would kill people in 2 hits. So that can be sort of immersion breaking. But I do think the characters actually, if you go off combat, everyone's got an aerial movement. Everyone can like traverse really well. The ground units like Captain America, Hulk, they can scale buildings really well. Whereas Iron Man and Thor can fly, which I think that's one of my like favorite things of the game. As to like the traversal of the open world games are really really fun. But in terms of balance, I would say they're all balanced well, but probably too well. Because considering the characters actually in the MCU or the Marvel universe aren't balanced, but then they're really balanced in the game.
To make it kind of realistic, you kind of have to level them up accordingly. So you have to have, let's say, Thor and Hulk level 20, and to make it realistic, you have to have kind of Captain America and Iron Man, let's say, level 15, and then obviously have Black Widow level 10.
1. So it's fair.
Yeah.
I've lost my trail of thought. I was going to say something else. Just to go back to the microtransactions, just to say, basically every character has a battle pass. So basically what happens is you level up your battle pass by completing daily and weekly challenges, and then eventually you unlock more costumes. So it might take you like, by looks of it, like 2-3 weeks to level up each level, and there's 30 levels or 20 levels. Or you can just finish it all now for like £200. Maybe not much. I haven't checked too much into it, but you can basically just jump to the end, and it's a bit like, well... So you can grind. It's sort of like, when Darth Vader, like, Battlefront 2 came out, it took you like 100 hours to get Darth Vader. It's sort of like that. Which is a bit like... So
what we should have done is obviously use Marvel Spider-Man as a template. You play the game, doing the different side quests and missions and what have you, and you unlock the skill points to unlock the different suits. I think it would have been better if they did something like that rather than the microtransactions that they've eventually put in the game.
And it's worth noting as well, compared to Spider-Man, where Spider-Man has like 30 suits which are all unlockable for free, this game has about 5 per character which you can unlock playing the game, maybe 6, and then about 10 which you have to pay for, or pay through the battle pass. So either pay,
or you can't get them.
Yeah, so it might take you 100 hours per character to get them all. So if you're basically never going to get them all unless you just you're going to pay like countless hundreds and hundreds of hours, which is just not worth it at all.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, is Spider-Man in the Avengers? I heard like rumors that Spider-Man was going to be available for PS4 players
in March of next year, I believe, March or April. It's going to come out a bit later on. So that's another good thing about Avengers, though. The characters are really all fun to play with, and the fact there's going to be even more to me really excites me. There's going to be about 15 characters at the end to play with over the next 2.5 years, which for me is amazing. I think it would have been better if they'd done more at launch. They could have easily done 8 at launch, but chose not to. And they're going to be free characters anyway, so...
Oh, okay. They're going to be free.
They're all going to be free, but the battle passes you'd have to pay for. So basically, it's the same sort of situation where if you want to level them up, you can spend 100 hours leveling them up, or £20 to buy all their skins straight away.
See, this is they're playing the Ubisoft game, man. They're playing the Ubisoft game. They know that they're giving you the good stuff, and then they're throwing in the bad. But then when you think it's all bad, then they throw in the good stuff again. Like, oh, here's some free characters, but to get these costumes, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I'm not gonna
shady.
lie, Spider-Man is almost like buying it for me. Like I'll probably get it just because Spider-Man's gonna be in it.
this guy. He supports Miami Dolphins. Even though he's from New York.
He
No,
probably
I-
does actually. Oh no, he's not from Miami. He's from
No.
Queens, isn't he?
So, but yeah, that's sort of like my opinions. That's the opinions of Avengers. I think there's some good to be had. Unfortunately, it's just overshadowed by the microtransactions. So there's a good game there, but there's also so many negatives. But we'll move on from that. My voice gets a bit sore, so I might have to let you take over for this conversation. So what we'll do is we'll just do our final topic, which will be Tony Hawk. So Michael, you played Tony Hawk. Came out on Friday again. How have you found it? What would you say? Quick, if you had to give a quick opinion on it, quick summary of the game.
Really fantastic graphics and nostalgia hit with a lot of content in the multiplayer, and it's just really fun collectathon game, and I recommend if you've played it originally or if this is going to be your first time, obviously buy it because it's fantastic.
So if you're new coming in, can you pick it up and play it straight away? You don't need to play the original.
No, because they've remastered all the original levels from 1 and 2, Pro Skater 1 and 2, and basically you start off in the warehouse and you've got to unlock or complete certain challenges, and once you complete a certain number of challenges you unlock the next level, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So it's really fun. You can create your own character, create your own park which you can upload, and yeah, so it's just really fun, and the multiplayer is really exciting as well.
Are you going to be playing Joel or not?
Probably. I never played the originals. Like I used to, I couldn't afford like the game, obviously because I was a kid then. But my parents were never like, you know, they never liked buying me games like, oh, it's gonna make you blind if you play too much. You know, they're all those type of parents. Anyway, so I always used to buy the magazines that have those discs
The
with
demos.
Demo disc.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I only played Tony Hawk Pro Skater on the demos, and I really enjoyed it. So I most probably will pick it up just the most important question though, how what's the platinum like?
That's true.
Hard?
It's definitely doable. Now, in one of there's a few trophies, 3 or 4, where you've got to get like a 10,000 point score or combo. Now, what's quite good is, as you can create your own park and play other people's, someone's actually created a 10,000 score park. So all you do is jump in and hold triangle, like the grind button down, and you just go round in a circle until you get it. And
Someone has
it's
just
really
eliminated
good.
all the skill in the game by just making a map for everybody to play.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So the answer is yes, I am going to get it.
So Michael, would you say then, as someone who was already a fan, is it a buy game? Is it a wait for sale game?
I'd definitely buy it because it's like a budget price of $39.99 here
Oh,
in
right,
the UK.
okay.
So it's not like full price AAA standard of pricing. So I would pick it up if you've got spare money.
So going off that whole thing where I said before, where I like to go off £1 per hour of play time, are you going to play this game for 40 hours?
I would say the story, if you solely focused on the story, it's maybe about 10 to 12 hours, I would say. Maybe slightly less, slightly more, depending on how good you are at getting all the challenges. But then there's a whole other side of it, the multiplayer, that can go on continuously, I would think. So there's definitely a good number of hours for your game.
Is that 10 to 12 hours each or for both?
I've just picked it up. Yes, I've just started playing it yesterday. So I would say for both, I would probably say they are quite short, the 2 original games, but they have added new challenges, and the challenges obviously get more difficult as you progress through the levels. So
I have read that the campaigns are quite short, to be fair. So that's probably for both, Joel.
Okay.
Have you been convinced? Are you going to pick it up then or not?
I might wait for a sale.
I agree. That's what I'll be doing.
I've got a lot on my backlog. I've got so many AAA games that I've not played yet. I still want to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Same.
I still want to play The Last of Us 2. I still want to play Persona 5 Royale. I still need to get Persona 5 and Platinum Persona 5. It's just there's so many like in my backlog. Not that prioritized, but that I want to play more. Like that I can afford to just wait a little bit until I do get Tony Hawk.
I agree. I'm in the exact same situation. Like I was going to pick up Ghost of Tsushima this month, but then obviously Avengers came out, and I was like, it can wait, because Ghost of Tsushima, I think, although it's in the backlog, it's a game that deserves to be played. And it's a game that probably deserves to be bought at full price to support these sort of games being made.
Yeah.
Because I'm all for supporting an open, a linear, it's not necessarily linear, a story-driven open world game which is actually done well. I'm all for supporting that because we've seen a lot of open world games that aren't done well.
Only one thing that I don't like about the game, and I only know this because one of my friends is playing it at the moment, and you can't skip cutscenes.
Ooh.
Now, I'm all for watching cutscenes, but I think with them not being able to put it in the game that you can't skip cutscenes, I think that's gonna like encourage people not to play the game a second time.
Yeah, I mean,
we could just add a patch in later on to do that.
Yeah. I mean, if they patch it, then happy days. But I can understand don't skip the cutscenes because they're all about immersion, and this is how it's basically a what do you call it? Like a homage. Is that a homage?
Yeah.
Like the Portuguese side of me is coming out, and I'm forgetting English. So to this filmmaker in Japan, which is fine, but I mean, at least add it on New Game Plus or like on your second playthrough, because if you've watched the cutscenes once, I doubt you'd want to watch them all over again.
yeah.
I mean, specific ones. I mean, at least give us the choice.
Yes, that's it. The choice. I agree. Props to them though as well for making a co-op version, a go-up for free co-op game. Like that's such good game developingness. Like I'm so happy that they've done that. Like it's just like they made this complete game. And I thought, you know what, let's just make another edition, a bit of DLC for free, which is going to make people just have a great time. Like, that's just, you just don't... That's earning them brownie points, in my eyes, Sucker Punch.
I've always loved Sucker Punch, to be honest.
Same.
Like, the games that they've come out with have been really good. Like, even the first Infamous, I think we spoke about this before, even the first Infamous was really good for the PS3. It was a breath of fresh air. It actually came out at the same time as Prototype, and I bought them both at the same time.
I remember that, yeah.
And I think I enjoyed Infamous a tiny bit more than Prototype because of the story. Like, Prototype was good as well, don't get me wrong. I mean, who doesn't want to go on a rampage and destroy the city with, like, mutant arms or whatever? But I think the story was very generic. You know, you get infected, the army are after you, you want to kill the guy who did that to you, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it is.
With Infamous, it was that twist that was really good at the end that I had no idea. I don't think anybody had any idea that that twist was going to happen in the end. So,
well done, Sucker
well done,
Punch.
Sucker Punch. Never change.
Always keep being you.
Yeah, don't be Square Enix.
Don't be Square Enix. Don't succumb to the pressure of microtransactions and making more dollar.
Be yourself, because everyone's already taken.
Words of wisdom from Michael there. Well done. I think we've...
I like that.
I like it too. I think we'll wrap up now. Anyone got any closing statements?
Yes. 10 comments. PlatinumBro needs to platinum Red Dead Redemption 2. That's it. 10
comments, and I'll definitely consider doing it at some point.
No. You said it's recorded. Don't you dare edit this out. You said 10 comments, and you would platinum Red Dead.
Well, yes, fair. Okay, 10 comments about Red Dead. Saying that.
No. Well, yeah, it has to be 10 comments like saying platinum Red Dead. It can't just be 10 comments saying, "Oh, I love you."
That'd be awesome too, though. To be fair, if you want to comment that as well, I welcome those comments as well.
You should definitely do that.
All right. So anyway, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with content. Go check out both guys. There we go. That's it. Both their channels. The links will be in the description down below, as well as their Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Go check out their videos, give them a like, say hello. And if you want to check out Discord, you want to have a conversation with me, with Michael, or with Joel, they're all on the Discord, and we'll all have a chat about anything you want, but mainly probably trophies. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.